know that they put toxic waste that is from the nuclear waste over large tracts of land? Do you know that they're growing food under soil that is toxic, poisoned with nuclear stuff? Did you know that the food that you're eating is killing you? Did you know that the water that you're drinking is killing you? You like to eat fast food? Fast food is death food. You don't know. I mean, you trust so much your enemy, and you're so fearful of a man that will tell you the truth. You will listen to me, and then you go back to being the same person.
Hey, Shalom, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, we'd like to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Kodash. Our honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, brothers and highways and byways, preaching and teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. You know, as you can see, there's a clip here with Louis Farrakhan. You know, and basically, the point that is the point of this lesson is to show you that, look, as he stated, Jake is in a very deep sleeping, and when you really check it out, no matter how you preach unto them, or no matter the amount of wisdom that you bring to Jake, they will hear what you're saying for a minute, and then they'll go back out, go do the very opposite or the same, because as he said, they trust in their leaders, their masters, their oppressors. You know what I mean? And that are one of the main thing why, the Lord is only dealing with the elect of the nation of Israel, man. Not the majority. All right. I want to make this lesson very long, but it just hit me, when he said that, look, no matter what, Jake, I will basically, go back, go do the same thing, once them listen and hear this message, they'll go back. And it's the same thing with us in this faith, in my little time being here, I mean, we've been teaching, man, and Jake will come and say, yes, okay, and then them go back and do the very same thing that they were doing. And we know basically that is, basically the elect of the nation of Israel, right? Let me get a couple of scriptures, just to prove a point, all right? Right, so this is Isaiah 30 and verse 12. So, wherefore does say the Lord, the only one of Israel, right? Because he despised this word, right, and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out into an high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly, but at an instant, right? So, our people trust in our enemy, right, which is Esau, Edom, and in oppression, right? They believe that this can only be, or it can get better than this, I mean? Whatsoever you do, they will always run back to master, right? Ultimately, the Lord has put these curses upon our people, right? And wherever you are, throughout the four corners of the earth, once you're an Hebrew Israelite, man, the curses will cleave onto you. And that's how we know, right? That's one of the way to identify an Hebrew Israelite right now, man, right? And it's through the curses, right? It says that the curses will cleave to our seed, right? Let me get Ecclesiastes 9 and start of verse 12. It said, for men also know it not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them, right? So the current system, as you can hear Louis Farrakhan speak about the pollution of the air, the pollution of the soil, the water, and all of that, man. Everything here is polluted. Scripture say what? Is this polluted, right? It will destroy you with a sore destruction, man. Right? It's not a rest, right? But one of the main thing that is coming, right, which is the ultimate test, is that seep, you know, written in Revelation 13 and verse 16, right? That mark, right? That specifically, man, right, is the ultimate test, right? And now we're seeing a framework being set up, the system going cashless, everything going digital, everything going digital. It set the stage, right, for a cashless society that is going to be ruled by the banking elites, right? And when everything goes digital, man, and you receive that um, mark, that charagma in your hand, it's going to be ultimate control. But now they're selling the people that as convenient, you know what I mean, efficient, you know, all these things, you know, they're basically telling the people that it's going to be good for them, which is basically a trap, and our people don't know. Once you tell them this, oh yeah, it makes sense, and then go back out. But we know the Lord had put a deep sleep upon our people, man. We're going to get that scripture after this, right? So verse 13 says, wisdom, this wisdom have I seen under the sun, and it seemed unto me great unto me, right? There was a little city and few men within it, and there came a great king against it and besieged it and built great bulwarks against it. And there was found in it a poor wise man, right? And he by his wisdom delivered the city, right? Yet no man remembered the same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is but it said wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words were not heard. Right? The word of the wise men are heard in quiet. Let me read that again. The words of wise men are heard in quiet, right? More than the cry of them that rule it among fools, right? So, right, so just as this poor wise man, um, you know, bringing out all of these things, you know, basically deliver the city, I should say, you know, and you find out that his wisdom is not heard or it's being despised, you know, by the masses. That's our word today, man. The word of Yahweh Shemesha is like a burden, you know what I mean? You know, because the society is evil and it dwells in evil, man, and it lusts after evil things. So once you come, you're telling them about righteousness and, you know, the way to live, or, you know, trying to wake them up, you know, out of this deep sleep, you know what I mean, to show them the impending danger. You know what I mean? They're not going to see it as a burden, man. You trying to disturb the way of life, right? You trying to disturb the way of life, you know what I mean, with things that is seeming to burden, because it's to them it's burdensome to walk a righteous way, you know. But as I said, you know, Lord, I put that spirit of deep sleep. Let me get another scripture, basically. Right. 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 3. Right. It said, if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel should of a Mashiach, who is the image of God, should shine upon them. Right? So if the gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, man. Right? Whom what? The God of this world is the God of this world, Esau Edom, right? Hath blinded the minds of them that believe not. So the Lord working through Esau Edom, so-called white man today, right, who is the God of this world, man. Scripture said the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Right? Scripture also said that he lifted up himself, you know what I mean, as God, you know what I mean. He is whom the Lord is using to blind the minds of our people and to dumb them down, right? So that they cannot retain wisdom in other mind, right? This is Isaiah 29, and this is scripture I wanted, verse 10. So the Lord had poured upon you the spirit of deep sleep. Close your eyes, your prophets and your rulers and your seers are he covered. See, so a lot of your leaders, your prime minister out here in Jamaica, your pastors, you know what I mean, your theologists, whatever it may be, man, your rulers, the Lord cover their minds. Yes, man, put a deep sleep upon them, right? You know, when you're in a deep sleep and you wake up, it's like a junk and you're staggering, you don't know left from right, man. You know, that's the state of our people today. They try to wake them up. Once you wake them up, them stagger and then go back to sleep. You know? You see, and the vision of all is become unto you as the word of a book that is sealed, which men deliver unto one that is learned, and saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I am not learned. Right? Wherefore, right. So basically the point has been made. You know, we'll have to go into well, let's continue because it's a great point in it. So wherefore the Lord saith, for as much as this people draw nigh unto me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their hearts far from me, and their fear towards me is taught by the precepts of men. So that's a very good point. So the you know, all of this, man, you know, the Lord basically, they are hypocrites, right? Because on one hand, what people say, oh, we believe in the Lord, but yet when you bring the truth of Yahweh Shemashah to them, you know what I mean, them deny it, you know. But we know, as the scriptures are further up, yeah, it's a deep sleep, you know. Nevertheless, you know, they will get punishment, least them repent, right? See? You know what I mean? But, you know, as scripture says, man, it's taught by the precepts of men. You know, so men will come out and say, oh, you know, the Lord said this or whatever it may be, and the way out these churches mainly, you know what I mean, break down the scriptures. You know what I mean? That's not the true spirit. You know what I mean? Or Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. First, them have the name wrong. All of these, you know, Isa is the one who basically give them this doctrine, man. Right? See? So the scripture is talking about the precepts of men. You know, their fear, basically. You know what I mean? That's why there's no fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai in the land. You know, it's been taught by the precepts of men. You know, but men who really understand the true knowledge and understanding of how Bashim Yahushua and the true doctrine, you know what I mean, will teach the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you know. So with that, I want to give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kodash. Honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, brothers and highways and byways, preaching, teaching His word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.
That they put toxic waste that is from the nuclear waste over large tracts of land. Do you know that they growing food under soil that is toxic, poisoned with nuclear stuff? Did you know that the food that you're eating is killing you? Did you know that the water that you're drinking is killing you? You like to eat fast food? Fast food is death food. You don't know. I mean, you trust so much your enemy, and you're so fearful of a man that will tell you the truth. You will listen to me, and then you go back to being the same person.